We have a guest. Are you so excited? I'm so excited. So we are going to have a new feature here over on the Cat Tube. This segment is going to be about basically girl bosses. Our first boss babe is an awesome girl. Her name is Erika. She's a Pilates instructor, she teaches dance, she's a vegan, and she's also just a glorious human. Oh, bonus, she has her own YouTube channel, she's fabulous. Erika Moulton, she's just awesome. So she and I get into the nitty-gritty of her switch to a vegan diet, how she got into Pilates, and is it scary and or doable for people who've never done it before? You guys, I need to try it. Like, I'm totally down to try anything. I have never done Pilates. Lastly, we talk about her experience with YouTube. She's been uploading since 2014. She now has like several hundred subscribers. I've been using YouTube, you know, as a consumer, and I've used it for some of my private content, but I hadn't had any public videos until like 3 weeks ago. So this is still totally new for me, and she has a ton of valuable information to share. Thursday afternoon, there will be a new boss babe every single week who is talking about the amazing, fierce things she has going on in her life. All right, so let's dig right in. Enjoy my interview with Erika. Hi, Erika.
Hi!
I'm so happy you're here. If you hear something that sounds like a carnival outside, it's because there's probably a carnival outside. I live in Washington Heights, and I was telling Erika, it's a total lie. There's a song in Hamilton that's It's Quiet Uptown, and it is not quiet uptown. It's really loud uptown, but that's okay. I love my neighborhood. So Erika's amazing. Erika, what do you do?
Oh my gosh, I do many things. I am a Pilates instructor, I am a dance teacher, I'm a dancer, and I make videos on YouTube.
So we both used to be performers for Disney Cruise Line. We're allowed to say that, right?
Spill the tea, it's not that big of a deal. Yes, we both work for Disney Cruise Line.
And like, we never actually worked together on Disney Cruise Lines. However, Erika's husband, Jeff, was my co-dance captain for the contract that I did, and he is just the best human ever. And so we became buds, and then I ended up being a groom's lady in their wedding, so that was super fun. And since then, it's just been like, awesome, we're pals. It's good.
Yeah!
Okay, well, let's talk about like the vegan thing. Spawned that idea for you, and why, like, did you start vegetarian and then make your way to vegan? Like, can you just talk?
Yes, I grew up obviously as a dancer and as someone who was always very in tune with my body, and I always wanted to play around with food in that, like, what could make me perform the best way. So I think I was around like 18 or 19 when I decided to start substituting things. And it wasn't like, oh, let me substitute this turkey for tofu. It was like, what if I substitute roast beef for turkey? How does that change in terms of like kind of trying to find like a leaner protein? My mom was a vegetarian my whole life. So I always sort of had the influence, but she kind of let us eat whatever we wanted and sort of experiment with what worked best for us. My husband had read the book Eating Animals. You know, I was intrigued. I've always had an empathy and a love for animals. And then, of course, we were living on the ship, and the meats that they had available, the dairy they had available, was gross anyway. So I thought, you know what, let's just try. Let's just see what happens if I cut it all out. Which is scary on a ship, because then you're like, whoa, what do I eat?
Crew food and guest food are two completely different things. So just to clarify, you're getting way different food than we had to consume.
200%. And not to like do like shameless promotion, but I made a video on my channel called Living on a Cruise Ship. And I also made a video sort of going into a lot more detail about my choice to become a vegan.
Amazing.
Cutting the meat out, cutting some of the dairy out had a real difference just in the fat deposits on my body and how then my body was able to better metabolize.
So how long has that been now?
I want to say now it's probably been like 4 years.
Wow.
It's embarrassing to admit I'm not a healthy vegan. I'm a junk food vegan, but I try. My favorite junk foods, I mean, I love Earth Balance cheddar squares. They're just like Cheez-Its. Then any of the non-dairy, like the new Ben & Jerry's non-dairy ice cream, little pints.
You're also a Pilates instructor and you dance. So do you feel that you get enough protein even when you've eliminated meat?
Listen, I'm not a food scientist. I'm not a nutritionist. But there's a big myth out there that you can only get protein from meat. There's actually a lot of protein in different types of greens. There's pea shoot protein that's really great for vegans. Vega, I think you know Vega. They make really great protein. Yeah, exactly. Totally. I don't feel like I'm getting any less than I would was getting before, you
That's
know, like
awesome.
to each his own, and everyone's bodies respond differently. And again, I'm not a doctor, but I feel and function as great, if not better, than I did before. As a dancer, it's always been tricky because dance is so much about lines.
Right.
So I was always kind of looking for the workout to lengthen and lean out my muscles. And at the time, I was just running. So my roommate at the time, her sisters were Pilates certified. And she said,
Wow.
when we get back to the city, you really should take a Pilates class. I think you would love it. And I did, and I did. I loved it. It really complemented running at the time and dance. And for me, that was huge because I've always had sort of bad knees because I have flat feet. So the support my kneecap was getting was fantastic and therefore resulted in being able to run without pain and being able, that meant a lot to me. I enjoyed running almost as much as I enjoyed dancing. For me, it was very meditative. Then finally, when I decided to stop being like gypsying around, I was like, well, what do I want to do to make money while I audition or, you know, make money while I pursue my dream? And I thought of Pilates, went and got my certification, and the rest is history, I suppose.
That's amazing. For somebody who isn't familiar, what is it comparable to? And then, like, for a beginner, is it a difficult transition? Is it a difficult, like, practice to learn?
I think Pilates can be intimidating to
Yeah.
most people. So people will either see the Pilates equipment or see the people who do Pilates and maybe feel a little intimidated by the choreography and the repertoire. And Pilates that I teach and that I've always practiced, I can relate it most to like physical therapy. It's like yoga in that there's a flow and a focus on breath. All that stuff very similar to yoga. I always think of it as a mixture. It's like a huge mixture of a little bit of everything. The cool thing about Pilates though is with weight training, most people think only of the first phase of muscle contraction. So
Yes.
there are 3 phases of muscle contractions, and a lot of the time people will emphasize the first concentric contraction of their muscle without then taking into consideration the eccentric phase, which is the lengthening phase of the muscle. There's an emphasis and an equal distribution of effort and work happening in each phase of that muscle contraction. And I think for a lot of people that are looking to like lengthen or lean out their muscles, the emphasis on the eccentric contraction is really fantastic. And I can introduce exercises and bring in exercises that best complement your life and what you want to do.
So you mentioned your move. How's it going?
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Definitely a lot different than living in the city. When you live in a major metropolitan city or your mode of transportation is your feet,
Right.
even just that is really fantastic for you. And you can overlook it so easily when you live in a city. You can, you know, for you it doesn't even count, right? So maybe walking 5 to 6 miles a day just to get to where I needed to go. Dancing, so Soul Cycle, which I freaking love. Going to the gym maybe twice a week. Like, there was so much to do. There was so much to be a part of. Here, it's a little different. There isn't as much. Obviously, I live in Central Florida in the suburbs. And I get now why it's hard.
Right.
Because
it's
you're
not
at
as
home.
built in.
Exactly.
In New
It's
York,
not
it's
as
built in. The city is your gym.
Yes. You know, we have a gym, which I love. It's beautiful. But I can 100% see that there's no class, there's no like group, there's no, which is why I think that your program is so amazing because you could do it anywhere.
Right. Community is so important, I think. Okay, the last thing that I wanted to talk to you about was YouTube.
It's a really amazing way of being creative, of connecting with people, of sort of discovering if you are going to build a brand and put yourself out there, well, who do you want that to be?
Right.
And it's so interesting to see and to think in your head, like, okay, I have this idea of who I want to be. But then to actually watch and see how that translates, because I, you know, would think in my head, like, oh, I want to be this person, or, you know, I have this person and this person in mind of the people that I, you know, look up to and would love my channel to be similar to theirs or the content to be similar. And then I'd watch my videos and be like, oh God, like
I'm glad I'm not the only one. Me too.
Yeah, it's so difficult. It's so hard to walk yourself back and you think in your head while you're filming, like, oh, this is so great. This is going so well.
I'm giving
It's
so much
natural.
useful information.
But then you watch it back and you're like, that was boring. The best advice I heard once in somebody else's video was like, if you can't sit down and watch your whole video without getting bored or checking your phone, what makes you think that a stranger is going to be able to do that?
That's real.
Right? That's real. It's really, really easy when you're your own boss or when you're just being creative. It's so easy to then think, oh, well, I'm not good at this, or I can't do this.
Right.
Like, it's not translating well. I don't have a good camera. I don't have good lighting. My hair and makeup looks awful. Like, I'm not doing this. But I find that also consistency prevails, especially with the online community and with social media and stuff. It's just being consistent, and the people who want to watch your videos, who want to be there with you, will come. They will be there. They will interact with you. And then also it's important to kind of keep the bigger picture in mind. So where do you want to end up? Where do you want to be? What I love the idea of having this channel and growing my viewership and letting them see, like, you know, now, you know, I'm married. We just moved to Florida. They came with us through the move, and then, you know, just kind of navigating life, navigating a new city. Who knows what will happen, and then who knows, like, down the road with, like, kids. And that's what I think is so special, and what I think I want to, like, gift people. Just continue uploading. Again, even if you feel like no one is watching, just upload. Just upload. Because somebody will watch. Someone will recognize that, oh wow, she uploads every day. Or, oh wow, she uploads every Tuesday at 10.
Right.
I'm going to tune in. Whenever you watch someone's video, on the sidebar, a few other videos will come up. So I would say, like, if you have a fitness, wellness channel, kind of looking at watching your own videos, making sure that you have some good tags, and then seeing what videos pop up in the sidebar. And then watching videos of people who have similar-ish subscriber accounts to you, and either commenting on those videos. You could say the infamous, hey, I subbed to your channel. Would you mind checking my channel out? Also, like, subscribing is free, so why not, right?
Yeah.
Like, I film videos and upload them, but then I spend the rest of the day, if I'm not filming, I spend the rest of the day just tweeting, commenting on other people's videos, messaging people. Like, if you don't like Twitter, if you don't like Instagram, if you're not a social media person, it's going to be a little bit hard.
It's not just going to happen. It's not just going to happen to you. Just like everything, it's work. And you have to put in the work. It's not like, even if you have amazing content, if no one knows it's there, nobody knows it's there. So let's say theoretically we want to check back in with you in a month. Or 2 months even. Mm-hmm. What would you like to have accomplished by then? And I'm more than happy to keep you accountable.
Oh no! Oh my God.
That's a big question.
Yeah, that's a huge question. I feel like I haven't been as great with, like, food and working out.
Yeah.
So I would love to be able to get back into it more consistently. And yeah, I hope I'm still doing what I'm doing. I hope I'm still, like, uploading every day, creating new content for my viewers every day. I think that, you know, it's been such a blessing and it's been so fun. And then also getting my butt to the gym.
Yeah, girl. So thank you so much for joining the channel. I'm so excited. This is the first. Let's both just clap like this. Like tiny alligators. Yay. This was wonderful and so much awesome information. So people can find you on YouTube.
My name, Erika Moulton.
Amazing. And then where else can people follow you?
On Twitter, at the Erika Moulton. Instagram, it's Erika_Moulton. On Snapchat, it's Erika_Moulton.
I love it. All right. We will check in with you later. Thank you so much for coming.
Bye.